Brisbane Wakes Up with Stav, Abby and Matt on B105.
G'day everyone. Thanks for downloading our podcast today. An unlikely guest who started out as an enemy then turns into quite the pal.
Talking about Tony Abbott.
Yes.
Yeah, he's lovely.
What a pleasant chat we had.
Because you're thinking of him still as a politician, not someone who's had time to be able to explore the history of Australia more, which you think every politician should have the opportunity to do
but
that.
I think you still do it with a bias back then. Because you're still
course
like, I'm
you
not
do.
allowed to like these people. But what he said about some of the former politicians was very surprising, I thought. Good for him. He even had because I've met him earlier, and he was an odd duck, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the interactions I had were quite warm and friendly. But when they're not, well, I guess he's selling a book, but when they're not selling an agenda, that's different.
So he is also an author on booktopia.com.au, where you can buy our book, Bumble the Bumstinger. He is number 1. We are number 10. And so we just wanted to chat to him about just pumping the brakes a little so we could get back up to that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Interesting, his response. So have a listen out for that later in the podcast. We also talk about tales of delivery drivers, where birds like to poo.
Which cars get pooped on the most? Apparently, birds will seek out specific cars.
And the Dear Abby files, which I think everyone will relate to when it comes to their bosses and their social media. It's a bit of a pickle. Let's get into it. Here is today's podcast.
It's Stav,
Hey, let me have a turn.
Okay.
Steph, Abby, and Matt. Children's book. What? I didn't know they could write a book.
Yes, Bumble the Bumstinger, aimed at every age group. No, it is a kid's book, but we did think of parents, when we wrote it, something that they will love to be able to read the kids during bedtime. But we just wanted to make sure that it stays in the top 10 at booktopia.com.au.
Now, the day we went to sign our copies at Booktopia, the person who we're up against, and we're going to bring them on in a second, were actually there signing their books as well, and we didn't quite cross paths with them.
Well, they wanted to rush us out, and we're like, oh, who's coming here? And we were getting a bit author competitive.
And it is the man who currently sits at number 1 on the bestsellers list, which is why we've put him at arch nemesis title for us, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you, and I think competition is healthy, so it's wonderful that you're keen to get your book from number 10 to number 1, and I'll do my best to keep my book, Australia, A History, How an Ancient Land Became a Great Democracy. I'll do my best to keep one step ahead of you.
Yes, well, to be fair, Matty has been saying all morning when he announces that you're coming up that we're going to take out Tony Abbott, which I thought was poor wording for a former Prime Minister that I guess still has security, right?
Well, look, if Donald Trump can take down Kevin Rudd, I think you guys are more than welcome to have a go at me.
Isn't that wild? If you were Prime Minister, would you have kept Kevin Rudd in that position?
Look, Kevin, whatever you think of Kevin, he's a very hard worker, and I have no doubt that he is pestering the legislators in Washington to death, as he once pestered the voters of Australia. and honestly, sometimes it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yes, we say that all the time here.
And the indefatigable knocker on doors who eventually gets a good hearing. So, as I said, I think Kevin is doing a good job in Washington, and we actually had a good day in Washington yesterday. The Prime Minister had a good meeting with President Trump. We haven't got increased tariffs. We do have a minerals deal. We do have AUKUS enthusiastically backed by President Trump. So good on Anthony Albanese yesterday and good on Kevin Rudd.
Bloody hell. The oppositions are going for each other. They're actually being polite to each other. I think I'm going to pass out here, Tony.
Well, look, one of the interesting things about writing a history is that you've got to try to put yourself in other people's shoes. And having sat in the top chair for a while, I know the pressures on people. And looking back over our history and looking at the work that people like John Curtin did, Ben Chifley did, Joe Lyons did, I've got to say I think it's important to remind the country that we actually have a proud history, and over the years we've been quite well led. In fact, looking back on it, as part of writing this history, I came to the conclusion that Bob Hawke and John Howard, between them, gave us 25 years of outstanding government. And in some ways, we're coasting on that legacy today. So, writing history reminds you of things that you've forgotten.
Yes.
And it also, I guess, teaches you a whole lot of new things as well.
Now, we were down there at Booktopia signing copies of our book, and I believe you were down there signing copies of your book too. Mm-hmm. How many copies did you sign?
Well, I think you beat me there, because I gather you guys signed 1,500 copies.
We did.
I had a bad case of RSI after 1,000.
It's not as easy as it sounds, is it? Yeah, it was pretty hard. But we won.
It was tough. Yeah, you won. You won there. You won there.
Hearing you talk about, you know, the book and how much you explored the history, it is that quite, reflection. I guess for your personal history, is there anything that you then go, oh, wait a minute, maybe I didn't deal with that the best way, or maybe there were regrets in the way that you had led over time?
Well, there are always regrets. For instance, I regret that I didn't get a bigger bite of the onion. So.
Oh, yeah, that'll haunt you for the rest of your days, that video.
We did actually talk about that as soon as we knew you were coming in.
Why did you... Can you tell us what you were thinking when you bit that onion like an apple?
Well, look, it was the most natural thing in the world, if the truth be known, because I'd been touring this farm, talking to the farmer about how the policies of the Abbott government scrapping the carbon tax had helped bring his costs down and made his farm more competitive and all the rest of it. The usual things politicians do. And he was obviously very proud of his produce, and we were standing by this machinery that was kind of de-skinning the onions so that they didn't have that sort of flaky skin. They came out clean and bright and shiny, and given the fact that I like a bit of raw onion in my salad, I just picked one up and thought, well, let's have a little munch. So away I went.
No one would have ever known you did the tour until that point, you know?
Well, that's right. It would have been completely forgettable until I committed this atrocity of eating a raw onion, or what apparently was an atrocity of eating the raw onion.
And then we got into the topic about budgie smugglers being back in fashion for the young kids now, Tony.
Well, isn't that fantastic? I never thought when I entered Parliament that I would become a swimwear model, but apparently that was my fate.
You gave them...
Yeah, you may not remember this, Tony, but you and I, we met on the Gold Coast when I was doing breakfast there at CFM.
Right.
And I can't remember how I came across. I saw you in an airport or something and then didn't stop you for a photo. And then so you ended up coming in and you brought a signed pair of red budgie smugglers for me. And it says Tony Abbott across the bum.
And have you been wearing them?
My wife loves them.
Does she? Oh,
You don't even know where they are, do you?
Who's getting into whose pants there? I mean, what's going on?
Well, don't look at his Instagram. Okay, just see if you can promote our book in any way when you're doing the rounds of publicity, okay? Just to be able to keep us in that top 10 as well.
Well, look, every book is a labour of love, and I reckon that love should be recognised and rewarded, so good on you.
Right, well, then you just say, so we've got the clip, just like the Onion one, say, my name's Tony Abbott and I endorse Bumble the Bum Stinger.
The Bumble the Bum Stinger.
That's the name of the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't really do that until I've read it. So you send me a signed copy.
Whoa.
You send me one of your signed copies, and then I can do it. All right?
They really did clear all the books from the room when he came in, didn't they?
That is a man who knows how to negotiate at the highest level.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105. Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Dear Abby.
Sometimes in life, gets real, and that's when you need Abby to help.
I'm trying to help you.
If you've got a little bit of a dilemma, you can DM, but I don't always get to it, so I would prefer you to write Dear Abby at b105.com.au. And this one, I've never really thought about it. And I don't know what she does for work, okay? I've written back to ask. I haven't heard back yet, okay? Maybe we don't have serious jobs. I don't know where you sit in this. But she has said, hey, Abby, my boss just added me on Instagram. And here's the problem. My account is private. So my account is public, sorry. So they've done nothing wrong. But now, every story that I post about girls' nights, weekend, cocktails, or complaining about work stress on stories could pop up on their feed. I have it public as I'm in the cosplay fantasy world. Ooh, you should follow stuff.
I will.
And even sell and promote the costumes online. Some of them I feel is a little bit risque, but I've never really thought about it before. If I block or delete my boss, it's going to be ridiculously obvious. I don't post anything scandalous, but I also like having my life outside of work. But now I just feel watched. I feel a little bit creepy if I've seen that he's seen the photo or even if he's liked a photo. Should I risk looking rude and remove him, make my account private, but as I said, risk being able to sell things, or just start posting like I'm in a job interview 24/7?
That's a tricky one, isn't it? He probably shouldn't have followed her
Why? Why?
because he's your boss.
But our boss has followed us.
Yeah, but we don't have serious jobs.
Maybe they don't
So
either.
where does the line cross? Like if you were cosplaying and you had your buzzies out, would he be allowed to follow you then?
You're just presuming that's what it is. Could be the boobies and the riri. I don't know.
Could be
I think
What do you think? Do you think it's...
I think he can follow her. Maybe he's just trying to show interest in her as an employee.
I think of course he can. But then you would feel weird about the work stresses. I never forget.
Should never post that work's giving you the shits on Instagram.
But people do. I never forget. Remember I had to go to QPAC and I was doing Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because he invited me to do a bit on stage, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be awesome. Took my tap shoes and I was so excited. It was early in the morning, had done a bit with them, and then I'd followed her on Instagram and she posted a story about it was so annoying that she had to get up early to go and do this silly radio thing. And I was like, oh no, that's me.
Did you say without the promotion of you're singing in the drizzle?
Do you know?
On the radio.
All I'm saying is I don't think people think.
Yeah.
They just post all the stories.
Or maybe they should start.
Well, that's not going to happen. I think it really depends on what the job is. I think if it's a very serious job,
But then what's serious? So if she works, what's your...
law firm, bank, financial institution.
I don't know that you can do that.
I don't know if you can divide, because how is that different than posting about like, I'm really sick at the moment, I'm not going to go to work. And is that okay if you work at a hotel, but then it wouldn't be if you work as a lawyer? What's the difference?
So
The other thing too, that-
as an assistant manager of a subway,
Oh, here we go.
would you have been able to follow her?
Yes, because I was only the assistant manager. At the coffee shop I ran, I was the manager, and no, I wouldn't have. Oh, but then it also comes down to you need to know their relationship at work too, because if they're friendly at work, then it isn't a problem. But if you're in a multinational corporation with hundreds and hundreds of people,
But you still
then
have
it's
your
a
one
bit-
superior. And I don't know if they haven't got, like, I can't imagine there being anything about social media policy. There would be, but I don't think it would say managers cannot follow employees.
No.
I couldn't imagine that would be it.
No. What he will have to do as a manager, though, is be smart about what he likes. If she is in a risque cosplay thing that is a little
like it.
sexual, don't like that photo.
But if it's in the stories, you can also see when people have seen it. And I think she said that's making her feel uncomfortable. But
She's
then
assuming she might have a lot. You know, it's like when someone's got stacks of dots. You just go tap, 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 tap. You don't look at all of
yeah.
them.
So she's not got it. She's the one that can't feel weird.
Yeah.
She just needs to post as normal.
Yeah.
But you said also don't keep posting about work though.
Well, I would say if she goes, oh, my manager's a big fat idiot. I had the worst day today.
No, but
we've all done that, and he didn't care.
So what about if she's at work and she's always been a person who's posted on her stories?
Yeah.
Should she not do that now during work time?
During work.
I don't know. Maybe that's why he's following her to see if she's actually doing any work, maybe.
Well, then can you get in trouble for that? And if that's the case, then she should...
See, I think there's too many questions that you should just not bother.
But not bother for what?
You reckon delete her
follow.
account?
Delete her account.
Well, she should block him.
Yeah. Can you block them? Do they know?
Well,
when you
that's
block
what
them?
she's asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, then he would know.
No.
And then you know what? You could block people because obviously my friends and I are private detectives on the side. Even though you block them, someone else can still see it. And if you're not logged into an account and it's public, you can't.
Yeah, right. What do you think should happen here when it comes to her social media? Should he unfollow or should she block? Steph, what do you reckon?
Hey. Well, I've actually got both sides of this coin. So my previous role, I was a manager for an accounting firm. I had staff directly under me, and I purposely did not follow them for this reason. I don't need them to feel like I'm watching them outside of work.
Yep.
But on the other side, I also have a book account on Instagram and TikTok, and I read all sorts of books. I don't want people from work finding me, so I don't have my name attached to it.
Oh, okay.
Smart books, I'm guessing, Steph?
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's really, I guess, 'cause-
amongst other things.
so that's why you have two accounts?
Yeah, even my personal profile, I don't even follow my book profile to keep them completely separate.
Yeah, right.
And I have recently had an old manager find my book account only a few months ago, and he started following me. And I was
weird?
it's still a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But, because this isn't someone I ever socialised with outside of work, I feel like it comes down to the relationship.
Yeah,
If
I think
you-
so too.
If you are friendly with this person,
Yeah.
then generally you wouldn't mind. But if you're uncomfortable, there's probably a reason, and I would probably approach them if I felt like I could. Otherwise, you can block people from your stories and things like that. But it's a lot of trouble.
Yeah. But when you think about it, someone was saying that you should never post if you weren't going to do that in real life. So, for example, if I'm not going to come in and say, do you like my bikini to you guys to work, and turn around, then I shouldn't post it. But you never think of everyone in the room when you're posting.
I guess the other thing too is, like, imagine when you go for contract negotiations, they go, I need a raise. You're like, well, here's your trip to Bali. Here's you in your new outfit. So I think you're doing pretty
That's
good.
why I need a raise.
That's why I need a raise. Raise because
so,
you've seen it. Yeah.
They're all on credit. Because you don't pay me enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
I need more book money.
Yes. Oh, I want to hear about these book pages now.
As a manager, and you said of an accounting firm, were you able to sack people over things that they posted on their social media, Steph?
I never had the reason to. There was a small handful of staff that I did follow off my personal profile, but mostly I would let them follow me first.
It would be a follow back. Yeah.
Yes. And thankfully most people are pretty onto it. They don't generally post things that are really sackable because you don't really want that across the internet.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can. We've had people in this company who've been sacked over comments they've made on social media before.
Who?
Well, I don't want to say their name.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. It was like clients. They were.
They were saying bad things about people. Oh, yeah. There was also a guy
mug.
that had the mug. There was a mug guy who was with ScoMo. He got sacked because it had a C-bomb written on it, and he posted that photo up. So you got to be careful. That's my advice to this person, is just remember that your manager is watching.
At all times.
Always.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Now, I told you guys the other day about an incident at my house, 2 a.m. Sunday morning, when there were intruders with flashlights just outside my bedroom door.
Now there's two of them.
Well, I thought there was two.
I just went, yeah.
I believe there was two of them. I thought there was one trying to break into the window of my bedroom, and then I thought there was one upstairs on my deck. And
Didn't have enough time to grab clothes, so you just had your floral underwear on.
That's right. I was in my underwear, my Bonds underwear. And I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I started screaming expletives, threatening to murder people.
How deep was your voice?
Well, this was the other thing I did is I didn't know how big these people were, so I tried to go as deep as I
Oh,
could.
can we shut your eyes?
'Cause I,
All right, let's...
Obviously
Yep,
not
go.
the expletives.
Okay.
I say, get out of here, all right? Okay.
Get out of here, bud.
No.
That would invite them in.
I think it was my thought process was I needed them to think I was a huge unit.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be like, there is a
I
big
want to
burly
know
man in
what
there.
you think big sounds like.
Well, this is
Okay.
what I just did.
Okay.
This is a split second.
Okay.
Get out of here, you bloody bastard!
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fair enough.
okay. No, I see. That sounds like a kid to me, trying to use his big voice.
Okay.
Sorry.
You would say that.
Can't go in there. There's children.
Anyway,
So they ran away.
I think when you put the words together that I put together,
Yes. Yeah.
they wouldn't have thought it was a child. If they did, a very naughty one. So I come just bounding up the hill at my place, chasing down these bad guys or bad women. And they speed off only to realise that it is a food delivery truck that is dropping off the food at which I ordered. And they texted me about the night before saying, hey, we will be coming at this very specific time to give you your food, so don't stress.
Can't wait to see that on your Instagram when you're influencing them as well. That's really going to go down well, isn't it?
Nah, that'll be fine.
The great stories.
I wanted to ask this morning on 131060 because they're unsung heroes that are out there doing what we ask them to do day in, day out. You know, they deliver our groceries. They deliver our food when we're hungover on Uber Eats.
Our bills.
Yeah, well,
Our packages.
Yeah.
They deliver those dresses that just always happen to be on sale constantly. I want to do
wigs.
Yeah, wigs. I've ordered wigs. Yep. I had one of them on. 131060 delivery drivers.
They're Australia's cowboy delivery drivers.
Came out and then I saw the damage and I went, wow, now I know what the bang was.
Tales of a delivery driver. What have you seen when you've been out there doing your deliveries? What are the incidences that you've been a part of? Danae, hello.
Hello, Matty. How are you?
I'm good. What happened with your delivery driver?
Oh, my goodness. We had a DoorDasher deliver our pizzas a few months ago, and I picked him up on the camera out the front, and he's standing there with the pizza boxes. So by the time I got downstairs, he'd dropped them in the driveway and was in his car. So I've come out and I said, is everything okay? And he says, yes, it's okay, your cat. And I said, yeah. He said, your cat looks very aggressive. My ginger cat weighs about 9 kilos and was laying in the driveway. So he was scared of our cat.
Wow.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
know.
He must be so scared. Every delivery of everything.
Hope
Imagine
it's a
what
dog.
dog.
Hope it's a dog. Hope it's
What?
a dog.
I know. And my cat wasn't even up. He was laying down, and he's a fat boy.
Yeah.
So he was just laying there, and the guy panicked and just dropped him in the driveway and jumped back in his car.
Maybe he'd had a bad experience with
It
a
is
cat in
cruel
the
that you're
past.
getting him to do the deliveries and not making the pizzas,
Maybe.
though, right?
Yeah, maybe. But my cat, he's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. Are you never... It's the stereotype that the postman gets chased by the dog, but you never hear chased by the cat stories, do you?
All right, Leanne in Greenbank, what happened to your delivery driver?
Oh, okay, so let me set the scene. I live at the bottom of a hill. We have big spoon drains out the front. So I have one of those driveways where you have a drain underneath it. It's about 4.5 metres wide. The guy pulls up in a van, beeps his horn, delivers his parcel, reverses out my driveway, and he beaches himself on my driveway.
Oh, got stuck.
Yeah, and they had to wait 45 minutes for his colleague to come and skull drag him off the driveway.
Did you just go and check and said, well, I'll be back inside?
Yeah, I just left him to his devices.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, you didn't want to babysit him. You don't want to be like, hey, have you done this before? Yeah.
My food's getting cold, so see you later, buddy.
What was he delivering?
He was just delivering a parcel, so Australia Post guy.
Oh. And that's annoying because he's just seeing his day tick away
he's
and
got other
tick
stuff to do.
away.
Yeah.
131060 if you're a delivery driver or you've had an incident with a delivery driver.
Rachel, what you got for us?
I'm a food delivery driver, and the weirdest thing happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was delivering food at lunchtime, and it was to a house with about 8 old people, butt naked.
What ages would you say these 8 old people were, roughly?
In their 70s. It was, going.
It was
Start
going.
for life.
Wow.
Start for life.
They were all together?
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
okay.
It was, kind of an invitation to come in.
Oh,
but,
my gosh.
Awkward.
Like a club, maybe.
Yes.
Naked bingo.
I wasn't thinking that. I wonder what suburb this is, because I remember one lady called up and said that she found out that her parents are they have a swingers club.
Yeah. I mean, the big question is, Rachel, what does one eat to keep their energy high in those situations? What did they order?
Apparently KFC's the go.
Oh,
KFC.
Finger licking good.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105. Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.
Hey, have you heard the theory that Gwen Stefani, and a lot of people say that Gwen Stefani, brilliant singer from No Doubt, is to blame or is responsible for convincing Trump to run for president?
No.
Have you heard of this?
Right, no, I have not.
She's just a girl. But it all happens, and it started with, the filmmaker, he does a lot of documentaries, Michael Moore.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And he brought this about because he had met him previously, and he said that he is just really a genius at manipulating situations. He said he's even been involved with it. Once he was asked to do a talk show, and it was Trump was threatening to walk because he had said something bad, so they agreed that they were going to make it lighthearted just so they could get on the show. And then after, it was a message from Trump saying, haha, it was really great. And he's like, oh, I've been played. He was always going to do the show. It was just to manipulate the conversation, right?
Oh, okay.
And he said this happens at every situation. So if you remember way back before he had been talking about it, I guess, since the late 90s as a bit of a joke. People are like, you're on The Apprentice, you're a leader. You've got so much money. Would you ever run for president? And it's like, could probably do a better job.
Right.
But then it all came about when he was on The Apprentice as the host and Gwen Stefani was announced as the voice and she was on it, and he found out that she was getting paid more on The Voice than he was on The Apprentice.
Right.
So this is her on The Voice.
Being around so much music and being exposed to all different kinds of music is so inspiring. It's just incredible. That's my favorite part about this show.
So to try and get paid more or to have his worth, the conspiracy goes that he was like, wait a minute, I'm going to say that I'm going for president.
This idea was cooked up by Donald Trump when he found out that NBC was paying Gwen Stefani on The Voice more than they were paying him to star on The Apprentice.
But he needed a crowd, and this is the rumours, and I don't know if it's true, that he paid people to be there for a rally that he announced he was going to run for president.
He paid a bunch of extras, $50 apiece, to be his cheering supporters. He would prove to NBC that he was more popular than Gwen Stefani, and then they would give him more money.
Right.
So apparently he was at the Trump Towers and he went down and everyone's like, I can't believe that people are here. And a lot of people were yelling out and support. And you could imagine it kind of felt pretty good, I guess. This was a bit of him talking at that rally.
We need somebody that can take the brand of the United States and make it great again. It's not great again. We need somebody that literally will take this country and make it great again.
Wow, he's been sitting on that one for a long time, hasn't he? Well, he was only ever, because in Home Alone 2, they shot it in his hotel.
Yes.
And he famously said you're only allowed to shoot it in his hotel if he has a part in the film, which is why he's in the movie.
Right. So did they have to pay for it to be filmed?
Yes, and he had to be in the movie too.
He just wanted to be in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
I don't have a problem with
tracks.
that, though. If someone wanted to use my house, I'd be like, I want to be in it too.
I think it just shows that he was keen to be famous.
Yeah.
As well as successful. But there was a few different accounts and then he made some very inappropriate comments and then he got sacked from The Apprentice and then his kids apparently were like, well, why don't you really make a go of this and
Was that
do the whole campaign?
when he was still mic'd up in the van and he said about, I just grab him on the...
No, it was about immigrants.
Oh, so that was the other
Different
time.
one.
There's a lot of times.
Or was it the time where he said this or that or this? Wow.
Yeah, so that's always the...
Gwen Stefani.
She's never come out and said, oh, sorry, or oops, that's, got nothing to do with me, and he's never, confirmed it. But you could just understand the jealousy of him going, what? She was paid more? What's this?
A girl?
I'll be president.
Yeah, I'll show her.
Yeah.
Do I have to go through with it? Oh, damn.
Spite president.
Stab Abby and Matt.
Alpha Bucks, it'll be the 23rd of October tomorrow, a Thursday. Here are some answers to win 50 grand.
6 a.m. your letter is D. Some of your answers are Donald Duck, Danger and Dragon. 7 a.m. it's N. Some of your answers are Netball, Neil Patrick Harris and Nintendo. And 8 a.m. it's C. And some of your answers are Calculator, California Girls and Carousel.
Righto, see you tomorrow. Boom.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.